Make some noise out there for D Black!
I am a homophobe, but I can't tell you how to love. I am a transphobe, but I can't tell you who you are. I believe that sexuality is rooted in biology, but I cannot tell you how to feel. Please, pardon me. I am just trying to own it. I'm jealous that I had to deal with bullying and now there's national campaigns against it. And yes, some masculinity is toxic, and I'm guilty for taking part in it. I spend overtime condemning hearts when it's really saving souls that should be my focus. Please, pardon me. I am just trying to own it. My inner child, still scarred, covering up the ears to my heart. Somewhere between public policy and people's privacy, I keep getting stuck at that part. We all come from different walks of life, and I think I speak for all of us when I say that walk has been hard. Please, pardon me. I am just trying to own it. Peace, family. Peace, civil unrest. My name is David Roberts. I'm an actor, spoken word artist. In spoken word, I go by the name D Black. Tonight, for my contribution to civil unrest, I'll be discussing the themes of sexuality, sex, and gender. I'll do my best not to offend. Please ride the wave and listen with open hearts and open minds. I believe that most, if not all, civil unrest begins with the self. So with that being said, the name of this piece is entitled ? Exclamation point. I never thought that Prince was gay, but I wouldn't be surprised if he had some thoughts. Because you can only push the human brain's envelope but so far before it starts creating its own plots. You know, subconscious giving you ideas that you didn't even want there. Something like, damn, that dude look cute. What the hell am I saying? Subconscious on autopilot, taking me to the uninhibited. It's not fun when your brain runs away with you and you're not the one in the driver's seat. You lack confidence in what you are, your brain will tell you what you're not. To be or not to be an everyday question with other questions after that. No one ever told me that me being me would ever be brought to question. But when you have doubts, there's always one thing that you can always be certain. Not fitting in don't feel fun. Doubt builds shame, anxiety stirs up. I wish I knew not facing my bullies back when I was younger would come back to haunt me, stunting my growth and for me getting older. That shame can trigger demons. Those demons can trigger trauma. That trauma can start to fester. That fester can turn to monsters. A shy guy who stayed inside and got cheated on sometimes made me start to think that, well, maybe there's something wrong with my mind. But pressure busts pipes and makes diamonds. I tell my trauma, I'm shining. Thoughts can be so deceiving. We are more than our thoughts, and some of our thoughts ain't even ours. When it comes to my CEO, God is who my boss is. I was never taught that what I want could be eroticized. I was never taught my masculinity comes in only one size. I was never taught society's standards are not my pride. I was never taught that sometimes my thoughts are not God's. And God don't make mistakes. often mistake our interpretation for what he makes. And I don't have all the answers, but I have what suffice for me. So with my understanding and my thoughts, please, just let me be. Peace. The name of this piece is entitled Construct. Masculinity is a social construct! But so is language. So are words. So are the letters coming out of my mouth to be heard. When did social construct become the devil? Toss out the baby with the bathwater because it's not inclusive of all people. How did we get here? Where? If we're not all free, then nobody can be. Soon being happy will be deemed as offensive. The trauma of marginalization forces the need for answers, but biology is not the oppressor. Just respect people's choices and accept that we differ. Can you imagine erasing all constructs? It'd be like, just picture it. 1 million pregnant women suing 1 million men because they refuse to make child support payments. The verdict is not guilty, you see, because their psychiatrists believe that they suffer from parental phobia. Parental phobia is when you fear taking care of children even though you still made them. You remove social constructs, just make way for new ones. And since sexuality is now a social construct too, we can just remove the main purpose of sex and focus on the psychological. But this isn't true. Parental phobia isn't real. But since there's no more social constructs, let's say goodbye to the court system. And let's say goodbye to laws. And let's say goodbye to poems. And let's say goodbye to words. And since there's no more words, it's just... How about we do a better job basing social constructs on a better substance? How about we identify ourselves with more than our thoughts and our attractions? How about, rather than tossing the baby out the window, throwing the biology out of the window? How about we stop fighting it and we fight a whole lot harder to build a better relationship with Mother Nature that we can't get away from? Peace. For my last piece, it's simply entitled, Sex, May I Have a Word with You? Hello? Sex? Hi. My name is David Roberts, aka D Black, with Intercourse Magazine. Oh, you're familiar with us? Well, thanks. Keep subscribing. And I'd like to have a word with you about you. It's come to my understanding that there's a need for reprimanding. You've been defined in ways that lack full comprehending. First, let me commend you on all that you've done. Without you, we die off, and history would move on. But there seems to be confusion amongst the general union between what you provide and what you are. In my conclusion, we've objectified you, simplified you, made you into a drug, used you for self-esteem, used you for meaningless things. You can be used for affection, self-esteem, a means of coping, and for stress relieving. I tell you, Sex, you really are one good stress reliever, boy. You really... But these all come second to the legacy you've presented, and I feel that it's you that we've misconstrued. You're now the equivalent of a handshake, the new way to say hi, the initial way to get to know somebody. But my question to you is, why? You've been defined by some as the highest form of affection, but then defined by others as second place to hugging and kissing. Sex, you're universal, but your current definition isn't. We've taken advantage of you, making you whatever fits into our narrative. We fell in love with your sensations. We don't want to focus on your function. We took you a beautiful gift and just made a big mess out of you. You've been confused with intimacy, confused with affection, confused with intercourse, and anything that causes an erection. We need to put some more respect in your name, damn it! After all, you're... Sex! Oh, we can't tell you what you are. And for centuries, I thought we always knew that. But times have changed and words have evolved. But to what extent do we have the right to re-explain a phenomenon? Sex? I don't want to hit on you, but you're pretty incredible. I'm sorry. I'm being rude. Did you want to make a comment? Peace, family. Thank you so much for your time. Hope I didn't offend anybody. Have a wonderful 2022. D Black out.